What are they when they're all together with you? What's the I can't even make myself say it. Joy, joy, thank constant joy of companionship. Good morning. All right. So you've helped me to relax up here, so thank you for that. My goodness. Doesn't it get dark earlier? And it's incredibly dark. I'm sure you all have noticed. I've noticed. I've walked into a room and bump into furniture that it's been there for at least 11 years. So I know it's there, but, or if I jump up early in the morning and I'm racing to go do something, I trip over another piece of furniture that, again, has been there. I turned off the light and saw it there. Don't turn on the light, and I trip over it. So, for some of us, why is that happening suddenly? What is it about winter where suddenly the things that we saw in the daylight become obstacles again in the dark? We know they're there. We've become used to them in the daylight. But in the darkness, we still seem to trip over them or I don't know, they just get in my way, right? So one of the things about solstice I found is, winter solstice, is that it's a time for pause, reflection, and to hunker down, get warm, and just think about things. I'm a pauser. And one of the wonderful things about being a pauser in my house is I have this fabulous husband who every now and again lights up the fireplace, a soon-to-be extinct gas fireplace. And I'm so grateful that I still have the gas fireplace because they took away my wood. So, and I watch the shadows dance along the walls onto the couch as it falls across the couch, beckoning me to curl up in the corner and just get comfy and quietly recount my day. I'm amazed at how the living room that has the bright orange rug and has the vibrant art decor all over the wall and is my sanctuary for watching Netflix Korean dramas as a binger. So this becomes a sanctuary for me. It becomes a place of reflection and a place of security. And from my sanctuary, I can see a portion of my small patio garden with its twinkling lights that are nestled among the trees and the plants. Quite frankly, right now, the patio's a wreck. The lights make it look beautiful, even though the mock oak trees have dumped a bunch of leaves onto my patio that I refuse to clean up because it's not my tree. When I step on there, onto the leaves, some of it covers my foot, and that's how deep it is. But it makes this delicious crunching sound. And over to the left, there's a citronella plant that I love, that during the summer, it begins to scent well, and it keeps the bugs away from me and off of my patio. But it's gone rogue. It's choking my red trumpet plants, and it's decided that the whole patio belongs to it. And when I look at that, and I think about bumping into furniture and the rogue patio and the refusal to do what's necessary to bring my patio back into alignment with me, I become aware that this is my time to look at the darkness in my life, within, and to reflect on what things am I willing to remove, what things am I willing to embrace, and what things am I willing to cut back for its own health so that it can bloom again and be stronger in the spring. So I invite you during this winter solstice to look within, to look at those things that might need to be cut back so it can bloom in the spring, those things that need to be let go, and those things that you need to come to acceptance with and live in harmony with. Come now, let us worship.
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum assalam. Namaste. Welcome to our multi-generational service, the Winter Festivals of Light. Our young people are invited to remain in the sanctuary for the entire service, and we will have some youth worship associates helping us lead the service today. I'm the Reverend Jeremiah Kalendae, and I serve this congregation as its developmental minister. I'm joined this morning by our beloved music director, Sonder Choi, and worship associate JoAn Peters, and our many extraordinary musicians and tech team, welcome greeters and membership and ushers, and so many others who help to make this service happen each week. So thank you to all of them. If this is your first time joining us, or you're still new to our congregation, we bid you a special welcome, and we hope you'll take time to explore our beautiful new website and online news magazine to learn more about our congregation, and to join us for the coffee hour after the service. There'll be a visitors table that you can learn, where you can also learn more about the service. I'd like to invite now our honorary youth worship associates, Ian and Kieran, up to the chancel to light our flaming chalice.
We light this chalice as a symbol of our free faith. We light this chalice to remember the miracle of the oil that burned for 8 days. We light this chalice to mark the nights of midwinter, and we light this chalice as we wait for the sun to return.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This morning, our very special music for the morning, we welcome a special guest soloist, Edna, to sing our anthem.
I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica, wearing sandals, lighting candles by the sea. I spent Shavuos in East St. Louis, a charming spot, but clearly not the spot for me. Those eastern winters, I can't endure 'em, and everywhere I pack my gear and climb out here till Purim. Rosh Hashanah I spend in Arizona, and Yom Kippur way down in Mississippi. But in December, there's just one place for me. Amid the California flora, I'll be lighting my menorah like a baby in its cradle. I'll be playing with my dreidel, spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica by the sea. I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica, wearing sandals, lighting candles by the sea. I spent Shavuos in East St. Louis, a charming spot, but clearly not the spot for me. Those eastern winters, I can't endure 'em, so every year I pack my gear and head out here for Rosh Hashanah I spend in Arizona, and Yom Kippur way down in Mississippi. Mississippi. But in December, there's just one place for me. Amid the California flora, I'll be lighting my menorah. In its cradle, I'll be playing with my drum. Here's to Judas Maccabeus, boy, if he could only see, spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica by the sea. Here.
We are brave, curious, compassionate thinkers and doers. We are diverse in faith, ethnicity, history, and spirituality, and are aligned in our desire to make a difference for the good of all. We come from many walks of life, and with us we carry our perspectives, experiences, and developing beliefs. As explorers who may be cultural immigrants, faith immigrants, and members of the diverse LGBTQ+ communities. Yet we are guided by principles that affirm the worth and dignity of every person and encourage one another to search for truth and meaning. We invite you, whoever you are, wherever you are, to join us on that journey.
As we gather in this space, in our virtual spaces, we recognize that we are connected through the winds that give air to all beings and the waters that move deep in the earth and sky. We acknowledge that the ground beneath our feet has always been home to indigenous people, many of whom have been forcibly removed. We mourn in the injustice, give thanks for the continued care to the grounds we occupy, and continue to move towards alignment of the knowledge and teachings that support this land.
Thank you, guys. Okay, five announcements. Okay, you ready? While there will be no service Sunday, December 25th, the sanctuary will be open for gathering at 10:30, from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. for anyone who wants to light the chalice and gather in the church on this day. It will not be broadcast. 2. Saturday, December 24th at 6 p.m., Holy Starlight, a Christmas Eve candlelit service. Join us out for a very special Christmas Eve candlelight service, a multi-generational gathering followed by refreshments and fellowship. 3. The Women Plus community will be hosting a cookie baking event with kids on Thursday, December 22nd, from 1 to 4 in Forbes Hall. Join us for baking Christmas cookies for the candlelight service. Don't eat them while you're making them. 4, the science nonfiction group will be reading a book, Rules of Contagion, but they'll meet online via Zoom on December 20th at 7:30 p.m. 5, finally, on campus today, we have many activities ranging from lunches for bunches with me, the Hunger Fund pop-up sale outside, the Faith in Action meeting, and an opening hearts and embodied practice circle meeting, probably somewhere in the cottage. And as you make your way to the various activities, please, please, please take a moment to go through Forbes Hall and appreciate, and if you're so inclined, purchase one of the beautiful art pieces by this month's featured artist, Bonnie Lambert. It's beautiful.
Good morning. The opening hymn this morning is 221, Light One Candle, Please Rise in Body or Spirit. Light one candle for the Maccabee children, with thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. But light one candle for the wisdom to know when the peacemaker's time is at hand. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. Light one candle for those who are suffering the pain that we learned long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in, that anger won't tear us apart. And light one candle to bring us together with peace as a song in our heart. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that's valued so highly? We keep it alive in that flame. What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they've not died in vain? Have we come this far always believing that justice would somehow prevail? This is the burden and this is the promise, and this is why we will not fail. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The dwells the truth for sacrament. Service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, thus do we covenant with each other. Dar en la verdad su espíritu, en el servicio es la oración, vivir usando paz, toda en el santo, en la verdad, servir a la humanista en comunión, así es como convenies unos a todos. Okay. If you have donations for the Westside Food Bank, we ask that you bring it forward and place it in our basket or by the poinsettias. We have been partners with collecting food for the Westside Food Bank for many years. If you would like to donate food, and it should be in unbreakable packages like juice, granola bars, protein bars, breakfast cereals to our collection basket. Our service to the world can be embodied right here on each Sunday. All young people and adults are encouraged to give. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and we will now receive the morning offering and welcome our. Yeah, I was gonna say, and welcome our youth worship associates up. Thank you.
I know you're getting sick of seeing our faces. This is the last time, I promise.
Not at all.
Okay, we invite all children up here if they want to. We're not forcing. Okay. Merry Hanukkah to Yule. Solstice. My friends Alexander and Shiloh enjoy winter solstice. They celebrate the first day of winter and the day is getting longer. They enjoy playing outside, singing, drinking warm drinks, and lighting lamps at night. First day of winter. Alexander and Shiloh celebrate like our friends Alma and Elora. Billions of people celebrate the light. Diwali. My friends Alma and Elora celebrate Diwali. It is a festival of lights. They enjoy singing, lighting lamps, watching fireworks, sharing yummy food, and giving gifts. Alma and Elora celebrate like our friends Isaac and Elijah. Billions of people give gifts. Hanukkah. My friends Isaac and Elijah celebrate Hanukkah, which is also a festival of lights. They enjoy playing games, eating treats, and giving gifts and lighting candles. Isaac and Elijah celebrate like our friends Kyla and Tyron, billions of people of light candles.
With supervision. Don't get any ideas, buddy. With supervision.
Kwanzaa. My friends Kayla and Tyrone celebrate Kwanzaa. It is a celebration of harvest and heritage. They enjoy lighting candles, giving gifts, singing, dancing, and sharing bountiful meals with loved ones. Kayla and Tyrone celebrate our friends Maria, Emma, and Martin. Billions of people are kind to each other.
Christmas. My friends Maria, Emma, and Martin celebrate Christmas. They enjoy singing, decorating a tree with lights, hanging stockings, and making gifts and sharing sweet treats. I know that's your favorite part, buddy. I know that. Navidad. Maria, Emma, and Martin celebrate like our friends Sebastian and Willow. Billions of people are creative. St. Nicholas Day. Sebastian and Willow celebrate St. Nicholas Day. They enjoy hanging stockings, singing songs, making lovely treats, and exchanging gifts. Random acts of kindness. Not sure that's a holiday, but it works. Sebastian and Willow celebrate like our friends Sasha and Paul. Billions of people enjoy delicious treats. Favorite part. Yule. Sasha and Paul celebrate Yule on the first day of winter. They enjoy lighting candles, singing, making crafts, giving gifts, playing outside, and baking tempting treats. How do you celebrate? Sasha and Paul celebrate like many of our friends around the world. Billions of people celebrate in similar ways.
Thank you for that. Let's sing our song of blessing. Oh, not yet.
We're going to do one more thing.
Oh, one more thing. Okay.
I'd like to invite Natalie Khan up to show us the process of lighting the Hanukkah.
Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah, so we thought this would be a particularly fine moment to explain to you a little bit about what Jewish people do, observant people do on Hanukkah. We light something called a Hanukkah. This lovely one is provided by Reverend Jeremiah, and this little shtetl down here, which is Yiddish for a little village, is one I use at home. And so when I used to observe I still observe it actually, along with our little Christmas tree we have at home. I would say 3 blessings in English and then in Hebrew. And when I looked this up on the internet, because I'd sort of forgotten the Hebrew part, I was astounded to find that the first thing I saw was, I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica. And then I looked further down and I heard, light one candle, da, da. And I think, well, I remember this. And finally, in my search, I did find the blessing. So what we have here is what we call the shamus. It is not part of the 8 days of Hanukkah, for which the oil burned 8 days in the temple, but it is the one that lights all the other days. And since this is the first day, I'm going to light the shamus, and then I'm going to light this one, and then I'm going to say the blessings in English and Hebrew. But first, can I use this? Is this kosher? Okay. So I light the first night, which is tonight, of our 8 nights of Hanukkah, and I put the shamus back in this lovely device. Okay. Oh, thank you. And the first of the 3 blessings in English is, blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. And in Hebrew, of course, I'm reading the transliteration, not the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotov v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Hanukkah. And the second blessing is, blessed are you, the Lord our God, King of the universe, who performed wondrous miracles for our ancestors in those days and at this moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nasam yivenu layim ha'am bazman hazeh. And my favorite is the third one, because we've come around another year to another season, and we're all here, and I just love that. Blessed art you, the Lord our God, King of the universe, who has kept us in life, sustained us, and brought us to this moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehianu v'ki'imanu v'higianu bazman hazeh. Thank you.
Let's sing our song of blessing. It's the same one, even if we're not singing our youth out, but let's sing it together.
Spirit
Just don't go anywhere. Let us enter into our time for centering, prayer, and silent meditation. I invite you to close your eyes this morning and enter into the darkness of the winter solstice. Allow your mindful breathing to open you to the spaciousness within. Each breath helps you return to center and brings with it a soothing calm. Each exhalation joins with the rhythmic breathing of the community as we breathe almost in unison as one body in one spirit. Breathing in and exhaling, we dwell in the peacefulness of the darkness. Breathing in and exhaling, we are centered and our beings are free. And we have a few joys and sorrows. You're welcome to open your eyes or remain in the darkness of the solstice. A beloved longtime church member, Susan Marsh, died on December 9th following a short illness. She was active in the life of our community and especially the book club. She will be missed dearly. We hold Susan and all those who knew and loved her in this radiant darkness and in the light of our beloved community. And it is with some sorrow that we share that church member and our sexton's Tom's sister-in-law, Caroline, was recently diagnosed with cancer. We welcome your prayers and good thoughts for her and her family. We hold Caroline and her family in the radiant darkness and in the light of our beloved community. And lastly, it is with great joy that I share that our beloved Helen Brown celebrated her 101st birthday last Saturday. We'd like to wish Helen a very happy birthday, and we hold her in the radiant darkness and the light of our beloved community this morning. Our mindfulness prayer is from the Reverend Lynn Cox. Please join me in the spirit of prayer. It will be followed by our silent meditation. Spirit of life, ancestor of the stars and the sun, you who embrace the vastness of space and us along with it, be with us today. Hold us in our worry, our exhaustion, our grief. Keep us close as we sit with our own truth, whatever that may be. Lead us to rest in the quiet, to find solace and renewal in the time of shifting light and dark. You whose arms open with the spinning galaxies, help us to make room as you do for all that is. Open our hearts to our loved ones, our neighbors, and the beings with whom we share this planet. Lead us to reach out to others in compassion. Turn us toward one another in mercy, right relationship, and reconciliation. You who have seen the rising and the setting of suns, of seasons, of civilizations, remind us of all that we have learned from the history of the world and from our own histories. Give us the courage to face our mistakes and to repair them whenever possible. Help us understand our interdependence, our gravitational relatedness with all of the other spinning lives around us, and lead us to treat those relationships with care. In this space, filled with the people among us who shine like stars, this space is filled with the sparkle of love and care. We give thanks for this moment to be together. May our senses be open to the beauty of this day, this season, and this world. Let us offer now our mindfulness, our prayers, and hold silence together for a few minutes. I will ring our singing bowl to begin and end our time for silent meditation. Who's afraid of the dark? Is anyone out there afraid of the dark? Any hands? It's okay to admit it if you're sometimes afraid. I'm sometimes scared too. Okay, it appears maybe we have one or two brave souls who are willing to admit sometimes being afraid of the dark. This coming Wednesday will be the Winter Solstice, which is the darkest day of the year. Every day since the summer solstice, the hours of daylight have been decreasing and the hours of the night have been increasing. There's no reason to be afraid, though. This is a time when the animals get cozy in their dens and hibernate until the springtime. Has anyone been feeling a bit sleepier lately? And as though maybe you too could hibernate until the springtime. There is less daylight because the earth is spinning in space like a dreidel, and in the wintertime, the northern hemisphere where we live is tilted on its axis away from the sun. During the summer, it's tilted towards the sun. So our half of the planet is spending more time right now facing out into the darkness of the universe. That's kind of amazing, isn't it? Winter festivals of light are celebrated by all different religions and cultures all around the world in this dark time of the year. Kieran and Ian shared some of the ways that our siblings in different places and cultures celebrate the kindling of light, and there's more. I'm going to share some stories of the festivals of light that are either happening right now, tonight, or about to be celebrated in a few days. Now, in ancient times, people did some really weird things during this time of the year. In some places, did you know people would cut down whole evergreen trees and bring them into their homes and decorate them with shiny objects, colorful decorations, and even lights. This was a very ancient pagan practice from what is now Germany, a place where it gets very dark and cold at this time of the year, to honor the holiday of Yule with this tree of light. In 1832, that's almost 200 years ago, a Unitarian minister who was from Germany, the Reverend Charles Fallen, threw a Christmas party with his family in Massachusetts, and they decided to surprise their guests by bringing a beautiful, decorated evergreen tree into their home. At the time, people living in the United States had never seen a decorated tree in a house. They were stunned, and soon word spread in magazines and newspapers, and people everywhere began bringing evergreen trees into their homes to celebrate the Christian and Unitarian holiday of Christmas. Do any of you follow this ancient tradition of bringing the evergreen tree into your homes at this time of the year? A few of you? Well, then you're continuing this ancient tradition of bringing more light into the world in this season of darkness. Now, over 2,000 years ago, another winter festival of light started on the other side of the world in one of the oldest cities on the planet, Jerusalem, the city of peace. Jerusalem is considered one of the holiest places on earth by Jews and Christians and Muslims because there once stood a giant temple in the heart of the city where people would go to worship the Spirit of life. Can anyone guess what was very deep within this special temple of the Spirit? Any ideas? What? The eternal light. There was what we would call Hanukkah, or a menorah, and it was kind of like the one that we have here in our sanctuary, but the candle holder in the temple was much larger, and it was made of solid gold. Well, Jerusalem, the city of peace, wasn't a very peaceful place back then, because the whole city and the temple had been taken over by neighboring people from another empire. They imposed their religion on the Jewish people living in the city, and they were no longer allowed to practice their religion in the temple as they once had. One man, Judah Maccabee, and his whole family and community knew this wasn't right, and they went to battle for their religious freedom. Eventually, they won, and they were able to return the temple to its rightful community. But to purify the temple, because it had been desecrated by those who had been oppressing them, they had to light the sacred lamps for many days so that the light would welcome the Holy One back into their religious home. To their disappointment, they found that only one container of sacred oil was left for the lamps, enough to keep the sacred flames burning for only one day, which wouldn't be enough. But to their surprise, the sacred flames burned for 8 days, and the ancient temple was purified. Now, the temple no longer stands in the city of peace, but now menorahs are lit in homes and synagogues and on public squares all over the world in the cold and dark of the winter to remember this sacred light that once shined for 8 days. Now, do any of you follow this tradition and light the candles of the Hanukkah in your home? A few of you. It's said that whenever the menorah is lit, this place becomes like the ancient temple, and we are reminded of it and reminded of the Jewish struggle for freedom. Now, one final winter festival of lights is the celebration of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is celebrated in African American communities from the day after Christmas until the new year. And like the lighting of the menorah, a kinara with 7 candles is lit each night. Now, in 1965, African Americans faced brutal oppression in the United States, and still do. But the black community was resilient, and it rebelled against their oppression with the Watts Uprising right here in Los Angeles. Kwanzaa was first celebrated the following year to strengthen African American communities and to support the cultural changes and revolution that would liberate African Americans from discrimination, inequality, and prejudice in the United States. Kwanzaa has 7 principles that are represented by the 7 candles of Kwanzaa. A black candle in the center represents black people. 3 red candles to its left represent the struggle of the black community for its liberation. And the 3 green candles to its right represent their hopes for a good future. Each night, a candle is lit, and one of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa is remembered. These 7 traditional principles of the community are umoja, or unity, to strive for and maintain unity in the family and community. Kujichagulia, to define and name ourselves, as well as to create and speak for ourselves. Ujima, collective work and responsibility, to build and maintain our community together and make brothers and sisters' problems our problems, to solve them together. Ujama, cooperative economics, to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other businesses, and to profit from them together. Nia, purpose, to make our collective work the developing of the community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. Kuumba, creativity, to do always as much as we can in the way that we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it. Imani, or faith, to believe with all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. Do any of you follow this tradition and light the candles of the kinara at this time of the year? A few. Whenever the kinara is lit or remembered, its light should remind all to honor and celebrate the black community and this ongoing struggle for justice and freedom. So in this darkest time of the year, let us remember that we don't have to be afraid of the dark, because it gives birth to and holds all of these wonderful winter festivals of light. So let's illuminate our evergreen trees, light the candles of our Hanukkahs and Kinaras, and let them all shine like the stars in the embrace of the beautiful night sky. Merry Yule, Hag Hanukkah Sameach, and joyous Kwanzaa. Amen, and blessed be.
Okay, this is the part where I thank you, the congregation. Thank you. Thank you for all that you have given to me and my family. If it weren't for your commitment to this church, this community, I might not have found you. If I hadn't found you, I would not have made the priceless friendships I have come to appreciate and value. So thank you for your generosity of spirit and time. Thank you for your financial commitment to keep this congregation in the community and in community with one another. So please join me in continuing the commitment, both financially and with your time. How many of you remember the little orange box from the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund? So our younger folks might remember it or know it as UNICEF. So in the past, when I was young, we would get these little orange boxes just around Halloween, and we would assemble them ourselves, trying not to tear the tab and then insert tab A into slot A. Invariably, I'd have to use tape because I had mangled it too much. I didn't tear it, I just mangled it. So UNICEF has come a long way in its 75 years. It no longer waits for an emergency to address the needs of children around the world. There are emergencies everywhere and every day. Staffers now continue to address and fight for the rights of every child seeking safe shelter, nutrition, protection from disasters, conflicts, and to have equality. This month, we continued to give 50% of today's offering to UNICEF to keep their good works afloat. The remainder of that money continues to keep our efforts afloat. So there are many ways to give. Just look. You can use the QR code, you can text it, or if you want to go old school, you can give it to our ushers in their baskets as they come down the aisles. And I invite the ushers to come down the aisles. Thank you again.
Hello. Our offertory anthem this morning is a song in the Judeo-Spanish language of Ladino. It's called Ocho Candelicas, or 8 Little Candles.
How linda está
Please rise in body or in spirit for our final hymn. This is 1055, How Sweet the Darkness.
May you go in peace. May you hold fast to that which is good. May you return to no person evil for evil, but strengthen the faint of heart, support the weak, help the afflicted, honor all beings. May you go forth into this day and be blessed, and may you be a blessing. Amen.